Welcome back everybody. I'm back again with Nadia, who has kindly lent us her face again, and today we're going to do a deep dive into Fenty products. So this is a full face of Fenty using some super cool new brushes that I found as well. So I have prepped Nadia's skin with moisturizer and primer, and now we're going to use the Fenty Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tint. I'm pretty excited to see how this behaves. Secondly, I have bought this Eco Tools, the Clean Beauty, Clean Planet is their motto. It's a flat foundation brush with an interchangeable head. So I also love the fact that you can just open it from the side and slide the brush out, as opposed to, you know, the kind of military grade plastic covering that most brushes have. And what's super cool is you can change the heads. I will apply, in fact, with the flat foundation brush, which is gorgeous, beautiful quality. And then this is the flawless buffer, which I will use to smooth out the product. Really cost-effective, good-looking, eco-friendly brushes. I'm such a fan. So that's Eaze Drop. Looks actually more high coverage than that is not as thin. Looks like a thicker BB cream. So let's see how this behaves.
It's quite good coverage.
Yeah, and quite quickly good coverage. I always like to try and take care of my concealing with a bit of whichever face product I'm using, because it's nice not to have to use thick concealer if you can avoid it. So I'm just going to take the remainder down her neck. So I'm removing what I've just applied with, and I'm putting on the flawless buffer brush. It's always a good idea to, you know, take a little bit of your product onto a fresh brush, otherwise it'll grab too much. So if there's any area where you want to take things away, let's say I don't want a heavy forehead coverage, that's a good idea to start from that spot, so you can take away product where you don't think you want it. So around the mouth. This will work really well for your kind of dry skin, and I haven't seen that you have to powder it, so I thought it would be interesting to just, you know, do that trick that people do abroad, which we just never think of doing here because we're so afraid we're gonna sweat off our bases, of just lightly powdering. Next, I'm going to use my Eco Tools Controlled Concealer brush, and this is also multiple head. For example, I had the Precision Smudge Brush head with this nice for under eye. Now, because I'm using concealer, I'm putting on the Controlled Concealer head. I'm going to use Fenty Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Concealer in the number 320. The reason why I picked this up is, even though I can see it's a warm color, is because I can see there's so much orange in there, it'll be an epic color corrector. And with that, I'm just going to use a little bit of Tarte Shape Tape in light medium. You can see the difference in tone. That's going to be closer to Nadia's skin tone. First, let's use that Fenty to color correct. So you can see it's a very, very strong peach. So this is one of those great products for Desis if we want color correction. You don't have to get into using sort of orange separate color correction. You can just use a concealer that has a lot of peachiness or oranginess to it. So we all need help around our mouths, around our nostril, usually we're a bit red here, and of course in that where your lack of sleep always registers, or your genetics, or your diet, whatever it is. That's a really nice bit of coverage. You think you should leave it alone and keep it only Fenty? Yeah? Okay. So I'm actually going to ditch this and just stick with Fenty and see how it behaves. The other thing I couldn't resist buying was this Fenty sculpting brush. It's called the Custom Curve Hugging Shape. Now I've seen Rihanna with her epic nails and rings use this a lot. So I was really curious to pick it up and see how it behaves on the cheeks.
It feels really good.
Yeah, it hugs it very nicely. So I'm going to highlight with Mo Honey and Afternoon Snack. So it's Fenty Day Today. So let's use, I want this. The high point up and the less shiny bit below. So I'm just going to stroke it like this and let's see what happens. Seems like it should just be a perfect two-tone. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I'm taking the darker color underneath and the lighter highlighty color on top. And then you should just get kind of the stripes you're looking for. It's nice, but I don't think it's like game changing in any kind of way. So Nadia, of course, is a fine and trained makeup artist by me, just saying. And she's been my number 2 for a million years before she moved away. So if anybody is wondering why I'm handing her brushes,
I actually like it. I feel like
nice.
Someone who's a novice will find this quite easy.
Oh, so like if you just do that, you know you're going to hit the right spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the value, that's also why Nadia's around. She's very positive. So she's right. If you just use this like this, it exactly shows you where your cheekbone is, which is not always the easiest thing for people to find. So I guess it just hugs your flesh in a way that places this in the correct spot. Again, I don't want to set it, so I'm just waiting to see how this works. And while we're at it, I'm just going to use Gloss Bomb. And please guys, check out the song because it's very addictive. So I have 2 of them. One is Mauve Wines and one is Fenty Glow. I've been waiting for Iman to use this one. And since we've also kind of kept things quite warm, we're going to use this on Nadia. So this is Gloss Bomb in Fenty Glow. It's a nice warm color. Here, as you can see, ooh, it's really juicy. I'm going to apply it with a brush. Oh my god, there's your mirror. Kind of apricot-y.
I love the fact that it's so sheer.
So if you ever played with your lip liner and lip gloss, which I think is probably the first thing we all did, right? It looks really super duper luxurious, I have to say. So you can see when you don't set an under eye, when you don't set a base at all, how that behaves. So even though it's not what it's for, I'm going to use Fenty Beauty's Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Powder Foundation just to set the under eye slightly and maybe some of the areas that are oily slightly. So let's just use the Fenty brush. Let's just give her a little bit of coverage very slightly where she might need it. And if you have dry skin, just make sure you're not taking too much powder. So you can see I'm just making sure there's no excess. Look up to me. What you want to do is you just want to give it enough powder that it doesn't travel. It's not about making it super duper dark. And I'm just being circumspect, as you can see, just a little at a time. Just so it doesn't move. Then we can take the Mo Honey, and I think we can just lightly dab it over Nadia's eyes. I'm just going to put it in the center, and then with my finger, just smooth it around. So it looks like second skin like glow. This is quite a warm color, so you can put it on the eyelid and it will behave like a nice little look. Now if you're not somebody who wants to wear mascara on the daily, I totally get that. So I often will just do a gleam on my eye and go. But I do find that I have to do a little something with my eyebrows. A little bit of, you know, a taupe colored powder. And just give her eyes a little presence. And I think, like, you know, when you're going for this glowy thing, having a hard mascara is not necessarily the way you want to go. And then you could just fix it with all-nighter and it would probably have a little bit more lastability. So I think for dry skin people, this is, you know, it's drying down on her. It's not that it's staying too sticky. And I bet you if we hung around for, I mean, it makes you look very, you know, like those Hollywood actresses, expensive glowing skin. That's the result. But I wouldn't want to hit the heat in this.
Yeah, maybe not.
This is like a, I'd feel like a beautiful nighttime glowing base or something you could rock in the winter. I wouldn't want to go out in the afternoon. I would just have sweated this right off. But it's definitely got a gorgeous finish. I think lots of people were interested to see how these products perform, so I hope you got a sense of them. Thank you so much for your attention. Please subscribe and like, and we'll see you next time. Bye guys. Thank you, Nadi.